and it took me off my feet.
Parts of Florida rocked by tornadoes in the last 24 hours. We'll take you to the hardest hit areas, hear more of those first-hand accounts, what people saw, what they heard, and what the day looks like ahead for cleanup.
Plus, a cold snap taking a bite out of travel. More than 1,000 flights already canceled today. What you need to know before you head out of the door.
And it's a bit of a cooler start out there for us this morning, but it's going to get even colder tonight. We'll take a closer look at those falling temperatures.
You're watching CBS 12 News This Morning.
Hey, so glad to start with this, that we have a calmer day ahead after that severe weather hit our area. Good morning, everyone. I'm Ashley Glass.
And I'm Sam Kerrigan in for Matt Lincoln. We saw everything from heavy rain and wind to tornadoes ripping through parts of the state.
Yeah, we have some new video coming in. Take a look at Lee County in the Fort Myers area. Hardest hit area saw an EF2 tornado touchdown. While Palm Beach County did have tornado warnings, meaning there were possibly actual tornadoes, we don't have any confirmed reports of any damage from a tornado. St. Lucie County, you also see there, got a lot of rain.
And we have live team coverage for you this morning. Terry Hornstein is at Palm Beach International Airport tracking the travel impacts from a winter storm moving towards the northeast.
Lauren's tracking cold air moving to our area. She'll time it out, but we want to start with Kara at the live desk. You have more new video, Kara. What do you see?
Well, Ashley, Sam, this morning, people in Southwest Florida waking up to quite a mess, trying to pick up the pieces after those tornadoes rip through the area. I want you to take a look at some of the new video just in showing some of these tornado sightings, both of these videos out of Marco Island. That's about an hour from Fort Myers. You can see just how quickly the tornado rips through the area. Now, as far as damage goes, Lee County, as you mentioned, saw the most. The National Weather Service confirms an EF2 tornado touchdown in the South Fort Myers area. As you can see here, this trailer park home was hit very bad. Other homes just completely flipped over, roofs torn apart and trees down. One man shared his terrifying ordeal. He describes when a tornado picked up his home while he and his daughter were inside.
I was in a fetal position, trapped by the sink, the refrigerator, the kitchen chairs, and a whole bunch of rubble over the top of me. The storm went in, turned her bed over, and she was able to crawl out the back window.
Now, at this time, officials say at least 28 homes have been destroyed in Lee County alone. That leaves at least 200 people without a roof over their head this morning. And right now, we do know that a shelter is open in Fort Myers for those people who have been impacted. So far, though, we are hearing that all of the injuries that have been reported have been minor.
When you see those videos and the scope of the damage, thankfully, there were no major injuries there.
So glad for that. It doesn't always turn out that way. No. Thankful this time. Our team coverage continues right now with meteorologist Lorna Lesky. It's a cooler start to the Monday, Lauren, and cold air is on the way.
That's right. So that was a really, really strong cold front that made its way through yesterday. This loop's going to start over again in just a second. And all of those storms that made their way south across the area brought, of course, that severe weather, and now the very, very cold air is moving in behind it. So skies are clear this morning. A wider look across the state right now. Again, we are in pretty good shape. Looks like some light showers coming on shore near the Gulf Coast. And the colder air is continuing to move south, too. 46 degrees in Daytona Beach right now, 44 in Jacksonville. This cold air is slowly moving south, and it's going to be settling into our area as we head into the next really couple of days. Now, our temperatures have already fallen during the overnight hours. You'll notice here our temperature trend for Vero Beach dropping towards the low 50s as of the past few hours. So these numbers here are also continuing to grow. Our temperature change compared to yesterday at this time gets bigger. And again, we're waking up all right now in the 50s. So our temperature has fallen to 59 degrees in Boca and Delray. You actually woke up to the low 60s this morning, 54 for Indiantown and Okeechobee. Now this afternoon, this is 3 o'clock, highs today mid to upper 60s and right near the low 70s. And then tonight, our temperatures are going to drop rather quickly. This is paused for you now at 7 a.m. tomorrow in the 40s to start off your Tuesday. Getting nice and cold out there as we head into tomorrow morning. Ashley, Sam.
All right, 6:04 right now. I want to take a live look. New York City, millions of people there bracing for a major winter blast. It's coming from the same system that just took a hit at the Midwest with more than a foot of snow.
Right now, that system is making its way to the northeast. This is some new video from Harrisburg, which is about 2 hours from Philadelphia. A lot of snow already falling there, causing icy road conditions. And the storm won't only impact the roads, but also airlines that are looking to get back on track after major cancellations during the holidays.
Our Terry Hornstein picks up our team coverage from Palm Beach International Airport. Terry, how are the flight boards looking this morning for travelers?
Hey, good morning, Sam and Ashley. You know, the flight boards this morning, there are several cancellations, a lot of them heading out from here to the northeast area or even Charlotte, North Carolina, because this storm system just really slammed a lot of the east part of this country and still continues to do so. Here at PBIA, you can see it's calmed down just a little bit, but just a short while ago, probably like about a half hour ago, this line here, this line to get through security was stretching pretty much down the hallway. We have some video of that, I believe. You can see the long lines we saw there. The lines to get through security much longer than normal. I mean, I was here over the holidays reporting for you, and the lines weren't even that long then. So very long lines because there were so many cancellations yesterday and delays. A lot of people rescheduling for today, and there still are more than 1,000 flights canceled today because that storm system still impacting the northeast at this time. Now, this is why the winter storm pounding the eastern part of our country. We're talking about rain, sleet, and snow. Travelers being warned to stay off the roads after hundreds of crashes were reported. And in the skies yesterday, almost 3,000 flights were canceled during the day from the Carolinas all the way through the northeast. A lot of travelers making sure they got to the airport this morning with plenty of time.
We were nervous. We were here for a funeral, and we couldn't really reschedule until yesterday. And yesterday there were, a lot of winds and stuff, so we were just lucky that we were able to make this flight today.
That passenger very lucky. Rachel Tarantino says she's excited to head back, but a little nervous about that winter weather, especially on the roadways. So if you are heading to the airport, though, the best bet this morning is to check your flight because there are cancellations right here at PBIA and the other airports within our area. And again, the TSA line was very long early this morning. So another good piece of advice is to make sure you get to the airport early.
All right, Terry, thank you. And don't forget, you can track weather anytime with our CBS 12 News weather app. Just click on WPEC in your app store. It is free and easy to download.
6:07 now. We want to turn to the coronavirus pandemic, where Omicron variant continues to put a big strain on the U.S. workforce. Brand new numbers from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention show about 21,000 Americans are admitted to hospitals with COVID every single day. That's what we're at. And right now, almost every American lives in what's considered a high-risk area. All of us impacted here. Florida, too, just became the third state to pass 5 million total cases. We're right behind California and Texas.
And this week, the Biden administration will launch a federal website where Americans can order free at-home COVID tests to be delivered right to their homes. But the tests you take at home are not as reliable as the PCR tests you can get in a clinic. Dr. Kami Kim has been studying this for the USF College of Medicine and Tampa General Hospital. She says the at-home tests do produce some false negatives, and that can lead to some concerning behavior.
People are using these negative tests as sort of get out of jail free cards. And if you have a negative test, your chances of being positive are lower. But like I said, they're not completely sensitive. So that doesn't mean that if you go to a party and with a whole bunch of other people unmasked, that you can't get COVID.
Dr. Kim says if you are a healthy person who's vaccinated and just have mild symptoms, then you should feel safe if you test negative at home. But if you're immunocompromised, unvaccinated, or if you have severe symptoms, you should get a PCR test. That's the safest way to get you the help you need as quickly as possible if you do have COVID.
And again, you will be able to order those free at-home COVID tests starting this Wednesday. Supplies are limited, 4 tests per household. The tests will ship within 7 to 12 days once you order. And the website you need to visit to get this done, covidtests.gov.
It is 6:09, and this morning we're learning the Palm Beach County School District is extending its mask mandate for all employees and visitors. Masks must now be worn until this Friday. Last week alone, the district reported more than 1,000 cases among students and teachers, and those are numbers we have not seen since the Delta variant was spreading in our classrooms this past summer.
It's 6:09, and we want to take a live look at the Port of Miami, where the CDC's extended conditional sailing order that required masks on cruise ships. It expired over the weekend, so now it's up to the cruise lines to decide whether or not people have to wear a mask on their ship. Right now, most cruise lines are requiring masks on board until the end of this month, and it comes as the CDC is investigating dozens of ships after crew members tested positive.
Time right now is 6:10. As we enter week 2 of the legislative session, lawmakers are set to discuss some controversial proposed bills. The state is considering banning abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy. The proposed legislation would include exemptions to save the mother's life or if the fetus has a fatal abnormality. It does not, however, include exceptions for rape or incest. Other items on the agenda include banning critical race theory in schools and restricting ballot initiatives.
Well, tomorrow, South Florida Congresswoman Sheila Sheriff-Phyllis McCormick will be sworn in as the first Haitian American Democrat in Congress. Sheriff-Phyllis McCormick is the newest member of Congress from the Broward Palm Beach County 20th Congressional District. She beat Republican Jason Mariner with 79% of the votes in a special election last week. She will fill the seat held by the late Alcee Hastings, who died of pancreatic cancer last year.
6:10 is the time, and still ahead this morning, new details into a hostage situation at a Texas synagogue. The person authorities say is behind this terrifying ordeal and the arrests made so far.
And then Brightline marking a milestone this week when we could finally hop on the high-speed rail all the way from South Florida to Brevard County. That's coming up in about 10 minutes. We're learning arrests have been made in connection to a hostage standoff in a synagogue just outside of Fort Worth, Texas.
Yeah, police say a man took 4 people, including a rabbi, hostage, all while the service was being live streamed.
And at one point, only one hostage was released. After a 10-hour standoff, the FBI breached the sanctuary along with local police in the area there. In the end, the suspect was shot and killed, and the remaining hostages were safe.
Kara Duffy is back at the live desk with the developments this morning. Kara, bring us up to speed with the arrests that have been made so far.
Well, this investigation's still far from over, but as of right now, we know at least 2 teens in the UK were arrested last night in connection to this terrifying ordeal. Investigators, though, haven't released the exact details surrounding their potential role in it, but they are questioning the teens right now. So here's what we do know. Armed with a gun and claiming he had bombs on him, FBI investigators say 44-year-old British national Malik Faisal Akram took 4 people hostage. On the live stream, an angry-sounding man could be heard talking with negotiators, demanding to speak to Afia Siddiqui. She is in federal prison in Texas right now, convicted of attempting to murder U.S. forces in Afghanistan. She was suspected of having ties to al-Qaeda. Take a listen.
Okay, let me just see what my sister wants, right? Let me just walk with my sister, all right?
Yeah, and on that live stream, the gunman was also heard telling his mother that he was going to shoot at law enforcement when they came in and that he was expecting it to be killed. Once all 4 of the hostages were released safely from the synagogue, the FBI did shoot and kill him. Now, in the meantime, we are hearing from President Joe Biden on the ordeal. He says that he's spoken to the U.S. Attorney General and is calling the hostage-taking situation a, quote, act of terror. Ashley?
All right, Kara, it's 6:16 right now on your Monday morning, and family and friends, they came together to remember the victims of that deadly apartment fire in the Bronx last weekend. 17 people, including 8 children, died. Investigators believe a broken electric space heater started this fire. Nearly all of the victims were immigrants from West African countries.
Time right now is 6:16, and this morning tennis star Novak Djokovic has left Australia after a court rejected his visa application. Djokovic left on a flight to Dubai after losing the legal challenge for a second time. The unvaccinated tennis player is accused of providing false information about whether he traveled elsewhere in the 14-day period before he arrived in Australia. He was scheduled to play today in the Australian Open in Melbourne.
Well, this morning we're learning New Zealand's military was able to fly over the nation of Tonga to assess the damage from that volcano that erupted over the weekend. Big ash cloud and internet access kept the flights from getting there any sooner. Right now there is concern too about contaminated water from all the smoke and ash. So far there haven't been any reports of anyone hurt or killed. Lauren, we've watched this satellite, loop at least a dozen times. It's just fascinating to see the scope of it.
Yeah, unbelievable to see a volcanic eruption from space. And some of the satellite images in those loops there, you can actually see the tsunami that it sparked too. Right now we are dry and clear across the area. We had this front come through. It's bringing snow towards the northeast right now. It brought us all of those storms yesterday. Northwest wind, the colder air makes its way down the state. It's going to get colder though tonight. It tends to be the second morning after cold fronts that we see the coldest air settling in. And then another cold front's actually going to be moving in on Friday. Now, our high temperatures for today will be in the mid to upper 60s, and parts of Palm Beach County will likely hit the low 70s. But then it's going to get even colder as we move into the evening hours. Top numbers of Vero Beach, down here at the bottom, is Boca Raton. And you can just see our temperatures are going to start dropping. By midnight, Vero, you're probably in the upper 40s already. I do expect most of us to actually wake up tomorrow morning in the 40s. It is going to be nice and cold out there. Okeechobee, you could hit 38 degrees though tomorrow morning. Might be 39 in Fort Pierce. So a very cold start to your morning. If you think this is cold now, tomorrow temperatures are dropping even more. We get a little warmer by the end of the week, and then another cold front moves in on Friday. Ashley, Sam?
All right, thanks, Lauren. We want to take a look at our roads right now. Some of you may be enjoying the holiday off, but if you do have to head out for that commute, this is a look on eastbound Indiantown Road. Traffic Tracker 12 heading through the Jupiter area right now. And so far, so good out there. No issues on our major highways or our side streets. It is 6:18, and this morning, Palm Beach County deputies are investigating 2 shootings in West Palm Beach. Deputies say 2 men were shot inside their cars at the intersection of Belvedere Road and Clubhouse Drive, right near Palm Beach International Airport. Both victims are in the hospital, but their conditions are not known at this time. Anyone with information is being asked to call police.
This morning, a warning from police of a scam spreading all over South Florida. Boca Raton police want everyone to know about a text message going out claiming to sell T-shirts for the department with a link to a $10 off coupon. The problem here, police say they don't sell any merchandise or shirts. If you get this text message, don't click on the link or give out any personal information.
Well, Brightline is taking a big step toward expanding its services to Orlando. Tomorrow, trains will be doing test runs through northern Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast. The cars will be running between West Palm Beach and Cocoa, so conductors can start learning the new route. No passengers will be on board during these test runs. The route from Miami to Orlando is expected to be finalized next year. Well, still ahead here on CBS 12 News this morning, we're looking ahead to a major court ruling expected this week, all centered on the right to free speech for some University of Florida professors. We'll bring you up to speed next. Plus, a local man who was once homeless is now using his past to help some of the people in our community who need it most. I'll introduce you to this week's hometown hero coming up in about 30 minutes.
Welcome back to CBS 12 News this morning. We are dry across the area on this Monday. A quick check on the Treasure Coast. Yeah, you're in great shape out there to start. Nice and cool up there this morning too. 55 degrees. Skies are clear. Your dew point temperature about 48, so it's nice and comfortable outside. What we're looking at here is the rest of your day for Port St. Lucie. Hey, your skies are clear as we head through the afternoon and this evening. Highs in the mid 60s, but look what happens tonight. Down go your temperatures. And you're waking up in the 40s tomorrow morning. Pretty much everyone is waking up in the 40s tomorrow morning. It is a nice cold Tuesday. But before that happens, we still have a nice Monday. Mid 60s for those highs today. Port St. Lucie at 67, same with Okeechobee. We might stop at 66 in Vero Beach. And then it gets very chilly this evening. You'll notice again those morning lows for tomorrow near 40 degrees. A couple spots might even fall into the upper 30s. And then we slowly warm back up as we head towards the end of this week. Another cold front will be moving in, though, by Friday. Sam, Ashley?
All right, Lauren, 6:24 is the time right now as we take a live look at the U.S. Capitol, where the voting rights battle is expected to heat up in Washington this week. See, in just hours, a march is planned in the nation's capital for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Protesters are hoping to pressure lawmakers to support new voting rights legislation. The Freedom to Vote Act, it's one of President Biden's key campaign promises. This bill would create a national standard for voting, designate Election Day as a federal holiday, and restore voting rights for people who used to be incarcerated. The Senate is set to debate tomorrow.
Well, Martin Luther King Jr. Day is seen by many Americans as a day of service where people come together to help the community. Yesterday, President Joe Biden and First Lady Dr. Jill Biden volunteered at a hunger relief organization in Philadelphia. They volunteered in an effort to pay tribute to the late pastor.
And we're celebrating Martin Luther King Jr. Day here in Palm Beach County, all the way to the Treasure Coast, as we're taking a live look here. The MLK Jr. Memorial, this is in Boca Raton. And if you're looking for ways to mark this day, we have some events you want to know about here. The whole family can get involved here. The 41st Annual Scholarship Breakfast is happening at 8 this morning at the Palm Beach County Convention Center. There will also be a free family-friendly outdoor event with food, music, food trucks, activities. This one's at Sarah Sims Park in Boynton Beach at noon. And on the Treasure Coast now, there will be entertainment for the whole family at Whispering Pines Park in Port St. Lucie. That one also starts at noon. We have a lot more to get you ready for the day ahead here. A tornado touching down near Fort Myers, flipping homes and tearing off roofs. We are hearing more from a man who lost his home. That's next.
Plus, a major winter storm in the Northeast causing new travel headaches. We're live from Palm Beach International Airport with the cancellations and delays hitting travelers right now.
Let's take a live look outside before we let you go for a quick break. This is Lake Worth Beach, looking beautiful as the sun started to come up. We're coming right back.